Hey, Pretty Girl Club, welcome back to the Beluga series. I am just sitting here. It is the morning time. I'm watching the sunrise and I'm drinking my black coffee. And in the Discord, a lot of us were talking about like our strategies for staying thin. By the way, be sure to join the Patreon or the members page if you want access to the Discord. But I want to talk about escapism, like healthy forms of escapism other than food. Because one of the main habits I used to have when I was a beluga was when I was bored, I would eat food. When it's somebody's birthday, I eat food. When it's Christmas, eat food. New Year's, eat food. Valentine's Day, eat candy. Halloween, eat candy. So every emotion that I had, I was expressing that emotion through food. So that's literally the definition of emotional eating. And American society teaches you to express your emotions through food. Even if you look at like Southern culture, for example, like baking a pie for your neighbor, it's considered nice and kind to cook food for somebody else. But what if that person is not hungry? So it's almost like there's this pressure for Americans to eat more and more. And I think it has to do with capitalism. These food companies, of course, they want you to eat a lot because they want you to purchase the family size. They want you to purchase more cartons of milk. They want you to purchase more groceries. So it benefits them. It's almost as if the media is brainwashing you into being fat. And then when you watch movies and stuff, it always shows people eating, or like when you see people on a movie, let's say they're going on a date, they're always going out to dinner. So a lot of the American social life is based around food. So, one of the things that's going to help you become slim is you're going to have to stand out. You're going to have to learn how to say no, and you're going to have to learn how to go to events where they have food, but you don't eat any of the food. And have you ever noticed how when you go to like a mixer, even if they have like PTA meetings, maybe they have work meetings, they always have catering there. They always have catering there. Why? It's because they want people to eat away their anxiety. Again, I feel like we have been socialized that way within our culture. Food is kind of like our best friend. It's kind of like our inanimate best friend. So I had to get out of that mindset. Anybody who's thin, we don't eat when we're not hungry. If we're not hungry or if we just had a full meal, we're not just going to eat 5 or 6 cupcakes just because they brought some into work. And by the way, work is actually a big trigger. That used to be a big trigger for my overeating. Anytime I had a deadline at work, because I told you guys I was an accountant. So anytime I had a deadline coming up, I had a lot of journals to enter, I had a lot of stuff to do, I would go and get a pizza or I would go and get some sort of food and I would have it just right there at my desk. It's almost like a form of comfort. So I'm stressed out at work, I have a deadline coming up, and I want to focus. And so my way of trying to focus was by having food because, then I'm not thinking about food while I'm working. And by the way, that's actually not a healthy mindset. My brain works better when my body is not using all of my energy to digest food. So like with me recording this right now, I have not had any food today because it's the morning time. I'm not hungry. I just ate last night. I'm drinking my coffee. I've got some electrolytes next to me. I've got some water next to me. I just took my vitamins. My groceries are about to be delivered in the next few minutes. Oh, that's another thing too. If you find yourself eating like a beluga because you're lazy with grocery shopping or you don't know where to find the healthy food on the grocery aisles, because that used to happen to me. I didn't know where to find like the cool vegan snacks or like sugar-free snacks. I just recently discovered that they even have sugar-free candy. I just discovered that like a few months ago. I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought the only option was you have to eat like Reese's or Hershey's. So sometimes you don't know how to navigate the grocery store, start shopping online then. Order your groceries online. And then type in low calorie XYZ or sugar free candy. And I know that some people say that like you shouldn't use a replacement, you should just eat the real thing in a smaller portion size. And I do that too, but it also helps me to feel more in control when I have options. So, for example, if I'm going to get some cupcakes, I might get a real cupcake and then I might get like a vegan cupcake or something. I prefer to have options. So then, depending on my mood, then I can go for the small portion or I can just go for like the healthy gluten-free option. So, ordering groceries on like the Walmart app, you guys know I do not like going into Walmart, but I love ordering from Walmart. So, whenever I'm about to run out of my fruit, like for my fruit smoothie, I just go on the Walmart app. I just go and get their little $2 bags of frozen fruit. Like they've got passion fruit, which is my favorite actually. They got passion fruit, mango, papaya. So, I have them deliver that. And that's an easy way to stay slim. So I'm not making that excuse like, oh, well, my pantry's empty. All that's left in my pantry is hot Cheetos, so that's all I can eat. No, there's no excuse. I'm not going to sit over here and make excuses as to why I want to be a beluga. I mean, let's be honest. Being thin is a flex. Being in shape is a flex. I absolutely think I'm the shit because I have a nice body. I'm just being honest. It makes my confidence go up. And another thing too, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to food. So one of the main things that used to trigger me when I was a beluga was Oreos. So you know how you go to Walmart, they have all the different kinds of Oreos. First of all, I wasn't even looking at the different kinds of Oreos. I was just so used to buying Oreos because that was always a part of like my school lunch or like the snacks that we used to have. I just feel like Oreos are just a basic cookie that you just grab and go. So I would be over here eating 8 Oreos in one day because I would have 2 Oreos right after breakfast, maybe 2 Oreos at lunch, maybe 2 Oreos after dinner, and then another 2 Oreos late at night. So that's 8 Oreos. And eventually I thought about it. I was like, wait a minute, Oreos are not even my favorite cookie. I don't even like the entire thing. I don't like the cookie part of the Oreo. I'm eating that Oreo because I like the frosting. So that's all I like is Oreo frosting. I don't really even like the cookies. So I was over here wasting calories when 2/3 of that cookie I didn't even like. I would have been better off getting rid of the cookie part and just scraping off the frosting and eating that if it's that serious. I would have been better off just doing that. So part of why some women stay overweight is because they're not strategic when it comes to their snacks, or they have low standards for themselves. They're wasting calories on food that does not even taste that good. They're wasting calories on food that they don't even like. Same thing when it comes to hamburger buns, hot dog buns, pizza crust, even like the dough part of cake. I'm not a huge bread person at all. I'm not a huge dough person, even when it comes to cookies. If the cookie is not soft and warm and like very gooey, I'm not really into it. So I realized I was wasting hella calories on dough and bread, and it's like mediocre. It's average at best when it comes to taste buds. So now that I'm slim, I am a food snob. So if I'm going to get a dessert like yesterday, I found this dessert place. I found like this bakery, and they have actual like good quality cakes and frostings and cookies, and it's actually soft and moist. It's not this hard at like a rock hard cookie. No, they had good quality desserts. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to get a dessert, I'm just going to go somewhere where it's going to be higher quality. So that way I'm satisfied, like I'm satisfying the craving with less actual calories, if that makes sense. But just a side note, if I do go to a dessert place, if I go to a bakery, if I go to a coffee shop and I'm getting some, let's say I'm getting some pastries or something at the coffee shop, or well, usually I get one pastry. I don't get multiple pastries. But if I'm getting a pastry, it's because either I spent the whole day working and focusing on things and I've done my steps for the day, or I know that I'm going to do a lot of steps that day. So that's my way of balancing it out. If I hiked 10 miles, which is really not that hard, you're just walking. As long as you're not going fast, as long as you're not running, you're not going to be overexerted. So it's like, okay, if I did a long hike, then it's like I balanced it out as opposed to, oh, I'm eating all these pastries and then I'm just sitting around on my butt all day. And speaking of that, speaking of going on hikes, one of my healthy ways of having escapism is I will go on a walk. I love going on a walk in my neighborhood. Sometimes I will call a friend and I'll be like, hey, do you want to try this new coffee shop with me? And then we will walk to the coffee shop and I will get a 0-calorie drink. For example, water, that's 0 calories. Iced Americano is 0 calories. Cold brew is 0 calories. And by the way, just because I'm in a coffee shop, I'm not obligated to buy anything. If they don't have a rule that says you must buy something to sit in this coffee shop, then there's no guarantee I'm going to purchase something. So that's another thing too. Sometimes people become overweight because they just feel pressure to buy something. Oh, everybody else is eating something at this restaurant, so let me just purchase something. Oh, everybody else is eating at the movies, so let me just eat something. I have one friend, she's very skinny, very petite. She's probably like 100 pounds. She's very short. And whenever I used to go to the movies with her, all of us would get like popcorn and all the snacks. And she would be like, oh no, I'm not getting anything. She was the only one that was not eating anything at the movies. But you know what? That's a part of why she's slim. If she just ate and she's not hungry, or if she just doesn't feel like getting bloated on popcorn butter, then she just doesn't eat it. She doesn't allow the environment to trigger her into impulse shopping, because that's how they set up their marketing. That's why when you go to the movies, before you can walk into the theater, they always have the concession stand out front with all the bright colors and the bright lights, and they have like gigantic pictures of Slurpees on there, and they're trying to like capture your attention because they want to trick you into purchasing something. They want to make you feel like you're not going to enjoy the movie as much if you don't buy anything. So that's all a form of marketing. The airport is another trigger place for me, I've noticed, because same thing. You'll be walking in the airport, they've got this long line or like this gigantic food court. Like you're trying to get to your gate, then you see Starbucks and you see like an ice cream place. Then you see the candy place. And then you see like the little convenience store where they have all the candy bars and all the protein bars and stuff. By the way, it's very easy to overeat on protein bars. And I feel like whenever I'm in the airport, part of what triggers me is I'm in vacation mode. You know, I'm going to see my family for Christmas. I'm going to do something really exciting that has to do with my passions. I'm going to explore a new place. So my brain is already in a vacation mode. And I feel like when it comes to marketing, a lot of people who are trying to market their products to you, they know that. That's why they upcharge you in the airport. They also know that you're rushing. You're more likely to be stressed. When you're stressed out, that's when you eat. And so I recently learned that you can actually, well, I don't know what country you guys are in, but you can actually bring snacks. You can bring unopened snacks into the airport. Like you can pack them in your bag. And so that's what I started doing. I will pack my little protein bars. I will go to Starbucks and get a cup of hot water, which is free and it's 0 calorie. And I will take one of my tea bags out of my purse that I packed from home. Because anyone who follows the Patreon, you guys know I'm very into herbal tea and stuff like that and like all the natural remedies. So whatever herbal tea I'm drinking for that day, I will bring that in my bag, and then I will sit at the Starbucks with my hot tea and I will put my earphones in, and that's my form of healthy escapism. That's a healthier way that I am getting rid of stress. That's a healthier way for me to relax rather than just consuming calories. Because think about it, how is consuming calories, how does that help anything? What happens when you eat food? All that happens is your stomach becomes full. That's all it is. So it's like, okay, so I'm seeking having a full stomach because I feel empty inside. Let's be honest, that's why a lot of people are overeating. They feel unfulfilled. They're not getting butterflies in their stomach over their relationship because maybe they're in a dusty relationship. You know, they're not getting this inner joy when it comes to doing their passions. So they don't have any positive body sensations in their stomach. So the only positive sensation they're searching for is the taste of food. Remember, food also gives you dopamine as well. So if you are neurodivergent, if you have like ADHD, if you struggle with impulse control, your brain is more prone to seek dopamine out of food. So something else I will do is if I am in the airport, I will go on a walk in the airport. Sometimes I will go on a walk in my neighborhood. Like if I'm at home, I'll go to the park and walk, and I will listen to Exotical content. When I'm at my parents' place, I will go on a walking pad. I actually love going on the walking pad, and then my mom has like this standing desk. So I will set up my phone and like watch something. So I can watch a whole movie on the walking pad. I can walk 5 miles and then I'm watching like a Christmas movie or a fall movie. Remember how in the last episode, I can't remember if it was on this YouTube channel or if it was on the Patreon, but I kind of talked about like getting into the fall mood and how to not fall for all the marketing. So instead of me just drinking pumpkin spice lattes every day, what I will do is maybe I will buy a 0 calorie pumpkin spice syrup. Actually, I just ordered one. I just ordered a s'mores. I was talking so much about s'mores on the last episode, but I just ordered a 0 calorie s'mores syrup that I can put in my coffee if I want to. So I'm kind of like creating a latte. Generally speaking, I don't really like creamer. I don't really like the taste of it. I will do like coconut milk occasionally. You know what I used to be obsessed with though? I used to do those Coffee Mate. You know the Coffee Mate creamers? Those are so good. It's so sweet though. But a good replacement is my little syrup. So that's how I'm getting in the mood for fall. So if I want a healthy escape, I will go on the walking pad. I can watch a fall themed movie. I can watch Twitches with Tia and Tamara, fellow Exoticals. I can watch like Hocus Pocus or like some movie that is themed around fall. And that's me getting in the fall mood. And if I'm really feeling fancy, I can have some herbal tea. They have herbal teas that are fall themed. So they have pumpkin ones, they have like cinnamon teas, they have nutmeg, any flavor that you can think of, they have a tea in that flavor. Maybe on the Patreon, I will talk about the benefits of each of the different herbs and spices and like how it helps you if you put those things in your tea. Maybe I'll talk about that on there. Can you guys remind me to do that? But something else I will do as an escape mechanism, a healthy form of escape besides eating like a beluga, is practicing a new hairstyle. So, for those of you who are very into beauty, not just beauty hobbies, but you actually have a skill, maybe you're actually good at doing hair, maybe you're actually good at doing nails or something, you can practice your hobbies. Practice that skill. I used to, when I was in college, me and my friends, we used to like practice doing our makeup. We would practice doing hair. We would just do random stuff, kind of like playing dress up in a way. It's like playing dress up as an adult. So before you go to the grocery store again, practice a new hairstyle. Maybe you can try doing half up, half down this time, or you can try putting it in a claw clip or something. That's a healthy form of escapism because you're using your hair as a work of art. You're using your body as a work of art. You're viewing your body as a canvas rather than viewing your body as a trash can where you just eat everything in sight. You just dump everything in your body. So that's a good shift. That's a good mental shift. Like, hey, my body is a canvas. My body is something that should be beautified. Another thing I will do is doing my nails or my toes. I told you guys I don't always get my nails and toes professionally done because I try to budget. I don't like going to get it done every 2 weeks. I don't even like how it feels sometimes when they cut the cuticle. That hurts. I don't really like when they do that. But I will do my nails and toes at home because that is my form of arts and crafts. So for some of you guys, you like actual arts and crafts. Maybe you actually like painting. So maybe you can go to the craft store. That's actually on my list too. That's another form of escapism. Going to the craft store, buying some paints. Maybe you can get a canvas, paint yourself a fall themed picture, or like paint yourself a new picture for your bedroom. You can paint a new picture for your bathroom. So doing arts and crafts, that's another escape mechanism because I learned about myself that part of why I was eating a lot of sweets in particular is because the sweets are pretty. That's really all it was. The cookies look really pretty when they're inside of the case at the bakery. And then they have sprinkles. Let's be honest. Sprinkles barely have a taste. They don't really even have a taste. It's literally just sugar and food dye. It really tastes like chemicals. Have you ever ate the sprinkles directly out of the, like, you know how you can buy the sprinkles at the store so you can bake at home? Have you ever tried to eat those sprinkles directly out of the box? They taste nasty. So a part of why I was purchasing sweets was because the sweets were pretty. Or, you know, it's Valentine's Day and it's in a heart-shaped box. So what I was doing was I was purchasing it because it was beautiful, so it made me feel beautiful. No, that shouldn't be the way that I feel beautiful. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If I want to feel beautiful, there are so many other ways I can feel pretty rather than just eating a pretty cupcake or eating a pretty croissant. Also, who's to say that fruits and vegetables are not beautiful? Change your internalized standard of beauty for food. You have a beauty bias. You are biased against healthy food. You think fruits and vegetables are not pretty, but then you think that cake decorations are pretty. That was my internalized bias. My standard of beauty in terms of food was sugar and frosting and baked goods and something that's got like cinnamon on it, or like, you know how the cinnamon rolls, it has like the white frosting, the drizzle, you know, all of that. That was my internalized beauty standard for food. And so if I wanted to feel cute and dainty and pretty, then I would get like a cupcake or something. And so now if I want to feel dainty and pretty, I will paint my nails, I can paint my toes, I can put a hair clip in my hair. You probably have so many hair accessories and makeup accessories. You probably have so many beauty items just laying around in your cabinet right now that you've never used. So you're telling me out of all the thousands of items that you have in your bedroom right now, you can't feel pretty with any of the nail polishes that you have to go and have a pumpkin spice latte. What I will do is I will actually paint my nails a pumpkin spice color. I can do like a pumpkin spice nail, like a manicure. So I can paint my nails orange. Maybe I can have an accent nail that's like brown or something. So it's a healthier form of escapism. And by the way, if you are obese right now, like let's say you're very overweight and you're too embarrassed to walk on the street or you're embarrassed to go to the gym, walk around your apartment complex, walk through the hallways. They probably have several floors in your building. So if they have 7 stories, walk in a circle in the hallways go up and down the stairs. That back staircase that nobody uses in your apartment, that is a great way to work out. And then nobody really sees you. You don't really have to worry about interacting with anyone, or you can just get a walking pad, just walk at home. I will do yoga at home. I will do planks just randomly at home. The other day I was randomly jump roping. I haven't jump roped in years. And by the way, that goes back to reparenting yourself. So you know how I talked about how some women with inferiority complexes, they have mother wounds or father wounds. So they lost their childhood. They never got to be free. They never got to express themselves. They never got to do fun childlike activities. So jump roping for me, that reminds me of my childhood. It's like a nostalgic thing, but it's also a workout. So you can do jump roping. You can do hula hooping. I also used to have this little thing. It looks like a skateboard, but it's like it balances on the ground and it works your abs. Basically, you have to balance on it. Or you know how they have that yoga ball thing? You can use that. It's kind of like this nostalgic thing. So you could make it a whole psychological experiment where you are figuring out ways to reparent yourself. There's a reason why I have a pink yoga mat and a pink water bottle and pink socks and pink clothes. There's a reason why. It's because it makes me feel very girly. It's like nostalgic in a way. Whenever I get ankle weights and stuff, they're pink. They're going to be my favorite color. That's been my favorite color since childhood, really. But some of you guys are struggling with food because you didn't have a mother or father to teach you structure around food, or maybe your parents were in survival mode. So like that's the last thing they're thinking about. They're not thinking about teaching their 13-year-old daughter portion control. They're thinking about how they're going to pay the bills. So a part of reparenting yourself is learning portion control, learning how to have fun and enjoy your workouts. Part of why I go walking and like hiking and all that is because I have this I like to explore. I've always been like that since I was a kid. So walking through nature and then like going off on these random trails, going up a random hill, or like walking next to the beach, walking by the ocean, it kind of satisfies that childlike wonder. It satisfies my inner child. So when I'm talking about weight loss and stuff, it's not just about aesthetics. It's also about the psychology behind it. A lot of women who are good at weight loss and weight maintenance, we are good at parenting ourselves. We're good at nurturing ourselves without using food. We're good at disciplining ourselves, which is like refathering. So the nurturing would be like remothering yourself. The self-discipline is kind of like refathering yourself. So a lot of us, we're good at both of those. We know when to say no, like, hey, you don't need to have Cheetos at 2 a.m. That we know how to set boundaries. That's something that like your father should have been teaching you in childhood, boundaries. You don't just get up and walk in the kitchen at 2 a.m. and then have hot Cheetos. Now you got Cheeto crumbs all over your bed. Now you're sleeping in Cheeto crumbs. So being thin, it comes with a sense of structure. You have to know how to structure yourself. You also have to know how to nurture yourself. Both of those things are versions of like reparenting. But something else is doing my LED light mask. So you know how they have like the red light therapy, the green light therapy, browsing Pinterest. If I want a dopamine hit, if I know that I just want stimulation, oh, that's easy. Just go on social media. Go on social media for like 2 seconds. Trust me, you're going to be stimulated. You are going to get a dopamine hit. I prefer Pinterest because I love looking at like the fashion or like, I don't know, I just like the images on Pinterest. So I will type in pink nails or like outfit ideas or something like that. And then I will just scroll on there and I set a time limit for myself because again, boundaries, discipline, that's refathering yourself. A lot of women with no father figure or they had no positive like masculine person in their life. A lot of them struggle with discipline, organization, time management, basically leveling up. I mean, that's really what that is. All of that stuff I just named is what's required for leveling up. weight loss and weight maintenance, it's a form of leveling up in terms of your health and also social status if you care about that. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys my daily schedule. So right now I'm recording this. It's 7:45 a.m. I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. with no alarm. And I woke up early because I keep my blinds open. So I try to wake up naturally with the sun. And I drank a tea last night. It's called Nighty Night. It was my first time trying it. Oh my gosh, that tea knocked me out. I'm going to do that again because that was great. I also calculated my sleep. I got 9 hours of sleep last night, which I haven't had in a long time. So I decided, okay, let me go on my walk. And then once it hits about 7:30, 7:15, 7:30, that's when I'm going to begin recording. So that's an example of structure. So right now it's 7:45. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to take my break. And my break is me walking around my apartment, getting steps. I'm going to be scrolling on Pinterest. So that's my way of taking a break. That's another thing. A lot of people, they take a snack break. That's not a break. That food is not a reward. Food is not a hobby. That's not my hobby. I have so many more interesting things about myself other than consuming. I don't want to be a consumer. I want to be a creator. So no, my hobby is not eating snacks and, oh, I'm taking a snack break. No, I'm taking a break and walking and moving my body because I want to increase my circulation. I want to get my steps in. I want to maintain my physique. Getting a good circulation, it helps you to think better, helps your hair grow, makes your skin look better, helps you to overcome illnesses. So all that, everything I just said, that's a form of me naturally kind of disciplining myself. I naturally structure myself. Maybe I'll talk about this more in the Patreon and on the members page, kind of like time management, organizational skills, how I do that, and like how it has helped me, and also how it helps in terms of like weight loss as well. There's a reason why when people join Weight Watchers or keto or anything with a meal plan, there's a reason why they give you a meal plan. They tell you exactly what to eat and like what time and how many calories because they're trying to bring structure. They know that you have no structure when it comes to your diet. That's why you're fat. Like if my body is sloppy, it's because my diet is sloppy. And if my diet is sloppy, it's because my mindset is sloppy. So I'm not planning ahead. That means that I don't value myself enough to plan ahead. I don't value myself enough to plan my meals ahead or to plan like my workouts ahead of time. So it's sloppy, and that's why it manifests in your body. But if I want to escape mentally, I will browse a shopping website. Maybe I'll look at like Fashion Nova or something like that. I don't necessarily purchase anything, but sometimes I just want that stimulation. So that's how I get my stimulation. Also, I love watching nostalgic music videos. I watch a lot of like Christina Milian music videos. I watch Tinashe music videos. I watch Tyla. Anybody who is thin, pretty much an exotical who is thin and in shape. I like watching the older Beyonce videos and stuff. I've watched like Cassie music videos. Anything from like this nostalgic era, the 2010s or like the early 2000s. I like doing that. A lot of times I will actually watch music videos while I'm working out too. So when I'm on the elliptical, I like to imagine myself as the person in the music video. I also love watching like Victoria Monet. I watch Ariana Grande. There are just so many people that I watch. Wearing my retainer is another one. If you have any beauty devices that require you to wear them, a retainer, a waist trainer, a compression garment. I don't know. They have so many beauty gimmicks these days, but that is another thing you can do instead of eating. Why don't you try reading an article? Catch up on Forbes, catch up on stocks. Like, what are you investing in right now? That is another thing that's way more important than eating a snack. Bitch, I don't want to be poor. You can oil your scalp. You can put some oil on the ends of your hair so you have like length retention. You can throw away old products in your cabinet. That's something that I do. I like to declutter. Right now I'm decluttering my closet from all the size mediums. I also try to clean my apartment just in general. That's a part of reparenting yourself. When you were a child, your parents should have taught you why you do chores. You're doing chores because you're trying to organize your space. You are worthy of a clean, healthy environment that is free of toxins and dust. So doing chores, that's another thing you should have learned from mom or dad in childhood. You should have learned the importance of doing chores. That should have become a part of your routine. That's why parents do that. They're supposed to do that to teach their children to become responsible adults. So if your apartment looks like a tornado hit it, first of all, that's actually an ADHD symptom. So that's just a random fact. But that's something you can be doing instead of eating extra snacks because you're also burning calories. Sweeping and vacuuming and all that, that burns calories. I also like to throw away like old makeup, wigs, weaves. I will do a face mask or I will create a face mask. I might do a hair mask. Yesterday, when I was recording for Patreon, I had like a pre-poo treatment in my hair. Sometimes I'll listen to audiobooks. So if you like getting into a certain mood, you want to get into a spooky mood, you can listen to a suspense audiobook. Another thing I'll do is I will turn on a playlist that is themed. So, you know how they have like the Christmas playlist on Apple? They have like a spooky Halloween one. You can do that. You can play those playlists or play your favorite album or your favorite songs. You can sing along to the music. That's a healthy form of escape. You're kind of soothing yourself, you're nurturing yourself, you're singing to yourself. And again, that also goes back to something your parents should have done with you. Maybe your mom used to sing you lullabies or something. So a part of why a lot of people do that is because on a subconscious level, it's like they're singing a lullaby to themselves. So that's why people do that. They don't even realize that that's what they're doing. They are soothing themselves. A lot of weight loss and overcoming food addiction, it's about learning how to soothe and nurture yourself outside of food. You could also watch a show. That's something I do. I watch shows, especially shows from different cultures. So like an anime or something, or I don't know, just whatever you're interested in watching, you can do that. Learn a TikTok dance, learn a line dance. That's another way to like lose weight because you're burning calories. So again, with reparenting yourself, when you were a child, maybe you liked dancing. Are there any hobbies that you wanted to try as a child but you never got to do it because maybe your parents couldn't afford it and stuff? You know how a lot of guys, they will say, oh, I was going to play football, but like my mom couldn't afford the uniform. Oh, I was going to do basketball, but then my mom couldn't pay for it. Do you have anything like that as a woman? Maybe you always wanted to try dancing. So maybe you can try to learn the dances on TikTok or learn these line dances. Or if you really want to help to heal and kind of reparent yourself and nurture yourself, go to an actual dance studio. Actually sign up for a ballet class. Sign up for, whatever you didn't get to do as a child, whatever you really wanted to do. Was there an activity where you really looked up to it and you never tried it? Go to the dance studio. Sign up for that. Sign up for ballet. Sign up for, they have line dancing classes. I don't know if they have TikTok dance classes. If they did, it probably wouldn't be called TikTok dance. Also, this is really random, but I always wished that there were like adult cheerleading squads. I would love that, honestly. But then it's like, who are you going to cheer for? I don't know. But I've always wanted that to be a thing, like recreational cheerleading for adult women, where like we get to wear our cute outfits, we can do our cheers, we can go to competitions, we can do stunts. I've always thought that would have been so cool. So I haven't seen, well, actually they do. You can try out for the actual NBA, like doing like the NBA cheerleading and stuff. But that's more professional. But if there's any recreational activity that you never got to do, maybe you should sign up for that, because a part of why people eat is because they're bored. They don't have any fun recreational activities that they're doing. So that's why they have too much free time on their hands. They have too much unstructured free time on their hands, just like a child, just like an unruly 10-year-old who gets neglected by their parents. Weight gain and being obese, that's a form of neglecting yourself. So if you're fat, most of it is really because you're unstructured with your time, with your diet, with your standards. But you can also practice a new language. I will do that. You can go on the Duolingo app. You can do some journaling, do some at-home stretches. There are so many options that you can do other than just eating food as a form of escape. But what do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.